Christians do a better job of creating non-believers than they do converting non-believers. So today I would like to actually give some tips that would help Christians better reach non-believers and have a better chance of converting non-believers to Christianity. And there's no sarcasm in this video. There is no catch at the end. This isn't a parody. This is just me, a non-believer, offering some valuable insight to Christians. You can take it or leave it, but if you want to convert me or other non-believers to Christianity, I'm going to explain exactly why you as Christians are failing to do this and how you can be more successful. Step 1. Engage. The first step is, of course, very obvious. The first step to converting non-believers to Christianity is engaging with non-believers, but most Christians don't make it this far. Many Christians, like my in-laws, they wear Christian t-shirts, they slap Christian bumper stickers on their cars, they get Christian tattoos, they watch Christian movies, they listen to Christian music, they share Christian memes on social media. You would think that as much as these Christians like to advertise the fact that they're Christians, they would jump on the opportunity to share the truth of the gospel with non-believers. But as a non-believer and as a son-in-law, I can tell you that this isn't the case. My in-laws, for example, they've talked to dozens of people about how stupid and evil they think I am for not being a Christian, but they've never, not a single time, even offered to sit down and tell me why they believe that Christianity is true and why they think I should too. And this isn't just the case with my in-laws. This is the case with many Christians, if not most Christians. They like to gossip about non-believers, they like to slander non-believers, they like to tell lies about non-believers, but they don't like to bother engaging with non-believers. And this is because I think most Christians do everything they possibly can to live exclusively in an echo chamber and preach exclusively to the choir. They only like to listen to Christians and they only like to talk to Christians, because that way they only hear what they want to hear and they only speak to people who already agree with what they have to say. And that way they won't have to listen to someone that might challenge them to question their beliefs, and they never have to speak to someone who might call them out for saying something that isn't true or isn't reasonable. This is also why Christian communities and Christian families will abandon and ostracize Christians who leave the faith, because now they believe something different, and that might challenge the other Christians to start questioning their beliefs. And most Christians won't allow that. Most Christians believe that it's too dangerous to ask questions. But that kind of behavior will never, ever convert non-believers to Christianity. That kind of behavior is the very reason why so many Christians are leaving Christianity. And that's why if Christians want to convert non-believers to Christianity, they need to engage with them. For one, you'll never reach someone if you never engage with them. And two, when you avoid engaging with non-believers, and worse yet, when you ostracize non-believers, including your own children, you're making it very obvious that your beliefs can't withstand criticism. When you avoid engaging with skeptics, with critics, with non-believers, and when you ostracize them, you're practically screaming at the top of your lungs that you can't defend your beliefs. When you do that, not only will you never convert anyone, but you also give non-believers all the more reason to continue not believing. Because why should I believe in what you believe in if you can't even tell me why you believe in it in the first place? Why should I believe in a religion when the religious leaders and the religious zealots discourage their followers and their peers from engaging with non-believers, with skeptics, with critics? And especially if they encourage their fellow believers to ostracize their own children if they stop believing in it. If you want to convert non-believers to Christianity, you're going to have to engage with them. Quit avoiding them and quit ostracizing them. Step 2. Be kind and respectful. The second step to converting non-believers to Christianity is just common courtesy, but this isn't very commonly practiced. When Christians do engage with me, a non-believer, it usually goes something like this. First, they strawman my position. They show no regard or respect for my beliefs. The Christian will often start off the conversation telling me what I believe and why it's wrong or stupid or evil, even though oftentimes they have no idea what I actually believe. They're just assuming that I believe this because that's what the atheists believed in God's not dead, or that's what Kent Hovind said atheism is. They'll say that I believe that everything came from nothing. I don't. They'll say that I believe that there is no God. I don't. They'll say that I hate God, but I don't. They'll say that I believe in all sorts of things that I have never claimed to believe in. And when I do explain to these Christians that, I don't believe that, or I don't believe this, or I don't believe in anything that you're saying that I believe in, they will either insist that I do, or they will just continue the conversation saying that that's what I believe in. And this just goes to show that these Christians either aren't listening to what I have to say, or they don't care what I have to say. And the next thing that they do is get angry and resort to insults and threats. And this is, of course, if they aren't angry and throwing around insults and threats to begin with. But I will say that usually the anger and the frustration comes in after I start asking challenging questions. A lot of times I'll ask a Christian, if the universe is 6,000 years old, then why are there dead stars and dying stars, much less billions of light years away? Or, I might ask if Yahweh is omnibenevolent and the source and the creator of our morality, why did he order the Israelites to murder babies and rape underage girls? And I also might ask, if the Bible truly is perfect and flawless, then why is it that Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and Paul all give contradicting accounts of Jesus' death, resurrection, and then ascension into heaven? When I ask these types of questions, that's usually the end of the conversation or the beginning of the end of the conversation. Christians usually get frustrated and angry because they don't know how to respond to these kinds of questions. God's not dead didn't prepare them for this. A lot of times they'll aggressively try to dismiss my questions by telling me that I'm taking the Bible out of context, or I don't understand it, or I'm just reading crap from the internet, or I've been brainwashed by Richard Dawkins, or I'm being manipulated by Satan. These are just, weak attempts to avoid actually having to respond to these questions because the Christians usually don't know how to, which is understandable. But this is also where the insults and threats come in. I have been told by more than one Christian that they can't wait to watch me burn in hell. And I've also been told by multiple Christians that if they ever see my face in public, they will break my neck or do something else terrible to me. And then more commonly, I'll be told stuff like, nobody loves me, nobody cares about me, I'm just a nuisance, and I'm never going to be anything but a failure in life because I don't have Jesus. If this is how you engage with non-believers, you will never convert non-believers to Christianity. For one, it's unlikely that anyone is going to agree with someone who's degrading them and insulting them and threatening to hurt them. And secondly, when you get frustrated and angry in what should be a rational conversation, it just goes to show the other person that you can't give rational arguments or responses to defend and support your beliefs. And when you as a Christian start yelling and screaming and throwing insults and threats at a non-believer, not only will you not convert that non-believer to Christianity, but you're also probably going to be the reason why some other non-believers never convert either. And you will likely be the reason that some other Christians end up leaving Christianity. Because when you treat someone like crap, people will find out about it. And in this situation, not only does it make you look like a crazy, dangerous maniac, but you also further tarnish the public perception of Christianity. Because when you call yourself a Christian and you plaster Christianity on your body and your car and your house and your social media, whatever you do, however you act, and the way in which you treat people, that gives onlookers the impression that that is what Christianity is, and that is how Christianity teaches you to treat people, even if that's not the case. So if you want to convince non-believers that Jesus Christ came down and taught humanity how to love one another, you're not going to accomplish that by insulting and degrading and threatening to hurt people. If you want to convert non-believers to Christianity, be kind to them. Be respectful. Step 3. Be open-minded. This third step seems a bit contradictory. It seems a bit counterintuitive, but it's very critical. If you really want to convert non-believers to Christianity, your goal should not be to convert them to Christianity. Your goal should be to lead them to the truth. Now, even if Christianity is the truth, there's still a difference in these two approaches. The difference is an open mind. Having an open mind means that you're willing to consider the possibility that you might be wrong and that someone else might know something that you don't know. When you are open-minded, it demonstrates that you care about the truth. It demonstrates that you are intellectually honest, that you have integrity, and that makes a world of a difference in a discussion. If someone sits down and essentially tells me that they are convinced that they are absolutely right and that I and anyone who disagrees with them is absolutely wrong and nothing and nobody can change their mind, that's pretty much the end of the discussion, because I have no reason to take their beliefs seriously because they don't take their beliefs seriously. They don't care enough about their beliefs to see if they withstand criticism, to test to see if they're actually true. However, if someone sits down and tells me that from what they've studied, they are led to believe that this particular thing is plausible or probable, and they are willing to show me how and why they reached that conclusion, and they are open to hearing what questions I might have or critiques I might have, as well as what I have to offer, that is someone I can take seriously. That is someone who has earned my curiosity, because that is someone who cares about the truth. That is someone who's intellectually honest. That is someone who might be onto something, not the first guy. If you believe that Christianity is true and you want to share that truth with non-believers, you're not going to get anywhere being stubborn and arrogant and refusing to listen to people who disagree with you. When you as a Christian engage with a non-believer and you refuse to be reasonable or intellectually honest, you refuse to consider the possibility that you might be wrong or refuse to admit when you simply are wrong, you give everyone watching or reading or listening the impression that your beliefs, Christianity, can't be defended rationally or honestly. Because if it could, why aren't you doing that? Believe it or not, this video is not me announcing that I've become a Christian evangelist. I'm not a Christian, and I'm not trying to convert anyone to Christianity. Even though this video was specifically about Christians and Christianity, it doesn't just apply to Christians. Christians definitely are some of the worst offenders when it comes to mishandling disagreements or mistreating people that they disagree with, but they certainly aren't the only offenders. Atheists and theists, Republicans and Democrats, conservatives and liberals, and practically every ideological group sucks at communicating and discussing topics with those that they disagree with. Now, I'm definitely not saying that every group and every ideology is equally guilty. There definitely are some groups and some ideologies that are more closed-minded or open-minded or respectable or aggressive than others, but there are good and bad subscribers in every theoretical position, every ideology. But there is always room for improvement, and that's what I want to encourage with this video, especially in the religious and political world. So engage with people that you disagree with. Be kind, be respectable, and be open-minded. So thanks for watching, and thanks for all the support you guys give to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next worship service.